So I just wanted to kind of discuss something, right? I've just eaten my dinner, had some lovely fish and chips with some roasted peppers. It was very good. It was Coley fish. I've never had it before. It was very good. It was also reduced at Tesco. It was like £2. So yeah, yeah. I just eaten my dinner, and I was watching a video by Jeff Nippard, who is very well respected within the community. He's very science based, and he is educated. Something I must specify: I am not. That's very important. And he was going through supplements that don't work. I don't entirely remember all of them, but I know that BCAAs were on there, test boosters were on there, testosterone was on there. I can't remember the other two. But he was going through these various supplements that people take and be like, oh yeah, no, this stuff's amazing, it's great, there's no side effects, it's fantastic. And he was going through the actual science behind it and why they don't work, which is actually a really good thing, because people need to know about this kind of stuff. And I am absolutely all for it. People need to know what they are taking, they need to know what it actually does, they need to know why it benefits them and why it may not work. Because every person is different, everyone needs a different set of nutrition. So I, for instance, I know I have relatively average blood pressure, so I don't need to worry about that. However, my blood sugar is all over the place. I'm diabetic, of course it is. So it's a little different for me. My dieting, my supplementation, I have to think about that. I think about how is it going to affect my glucose? What is the glycemic index of this supplement? Some of the supplements I used to take, I don't anymore because of that. Some of them I don't take because I forget to. I keep forgetting my creatine. Some of them I take and I know they don't work. That's what I want to talk about. There's one in particular that Jeff knows what I was talking about, which is testosterone. Now, I take testosterone. I don't actually have any right now, but I will get some more. And I'm fully aware it does nothing. I'm aware of that. As Jeff said, it doesn't do anything. There's no science that really proves it does. There's some studies around that kind of say, yeah, it does work, but it's a bit sketchy and it's really difficult to tell. It's really difficult to find actual legit testosterone online. The vast majority of even renowned companies, the testosterone will say oh yeah, it's got 500 milligrams in it, and it's got 0.8. I don't remember the exact numbers that Jeff had, but yeah, I would absolutely recommend go watching his video. It's really, really interesting, really informative. He's a great guy. I will link that particular video in the description if you want to take a look. But I would watch this one first because he said in that video that any gain that people make with these supplements, testosterone in particular, it is not from the supplement itself. It is from the placebo effect. What I'm not understanding, right, and please bear in mind, as I said, I'm not an expert, I'm not qualified in anything at all. Well, no, I'm qualified in engineering, but that does not apply here. What I'm not getting is why that's a bad thing. Because, oh dear, I've gained, X muscle mass, and I've done this, I've gained this much strength from this supplement that doesn't work due to the placebo effect. But you still gained, right? The mindset that supplement put you in allowed you to train more efficiently and more effectively than normal. That caused a whole chain of changes that led to a greater improvement than before. Why is that a bad thing? I just don't get it, because I have noticed that. I would have been about 5-6 kilos of weight, right? This was probably around kind of between August and about January time. In that time frame, I went from about 74 to about 69 kilos. The reason for that was, one, I went to uni, I can't afford proper food, so I was effectively cutting, and two, I was also kind of in DKA, so I was also my pancreas was digesting my liver, and various other things, so I was losing a lot of weight from that. Not a healthy state to be in, I was not at all healthy, but I lost weight. Over that time, I believe from around the start of December to the end of January, I was taking testosterone. And in fact, I still am, when I order some more. And over that time, I lost quite a bit of weight. But I did not lose any strength. Now, this has happened in the past. I have lost weight, I have lost strength because of it. It happens to everyone. However, I did not change my training in any meaningful way. but it still had an effect. Something had an effect. I don't know what. Whether it was a mindset thing, whether it was a food thing, whether it was... God knows what it was. Maybe it was the testosterone. Maybe it did do something. I don't know. I'm not an expert. But science says it didn't do anything. But something did. And that caused something to do something, to change something. Change many things even. That led to an improvement. And I just think people need to think more with things like this. Because, yeah, some supplements can be dangerous. You've got to be careful. You never know what's actually in these things. Even if you are educated, you just can't truly know, unless you made it yourself. You can't truly know what's in it. So all you got to do is hope it's what it says it is. And then you got to know, does that actually do anything? Is that going to make an effect? Is that going to benefit me? Is it going to cause setbacks? Is it going to change the way I have to do things? Which then leads to potentially other supplements I need to get hold of. There's a whole bunch of things you need to consider. And the last thing you need to think about is it worth it just for the placebo effect? Now, I'm fully aware of the placebo effect that testosterone has. As the science proves, I know it doesn't do anything. However, and this is actually due to a mental condition, please don't try and replicate this, it's not very good for your health. I am effectively ignorant of that when I'm actually training. I know it's having an effect, I know it's changing things, but I'm not resisting that, if that makes sense. And therefore, I am still making progress because of it. I'm very lucky because of that. I'm very thankful that I can do that. But people need to consider things like placebo effects, and they need to consider how supplements actually will help them in the real world. Not just what the numbers say, not just what each individual ingredient does for them, but what does taking that tablet every morning or every afternoon or whenever you take it, what does taking that tablet do for you? What does that mineral actually cause? And that's the real kind of consideration. That's the real kind of decider for me, at least, when it comes to buying supplements. I have quite a few. I've got, right now, what have I got? I've got multivitamins, just because I'm generally not a very healthy person. The testosterone, as I mentioned, I use that because it has it causes an increase in my strength gain and my muscle gain. Whether it actually does that or not, or if it's just a mindset thing, as I said, I don't know. But that's what it causes. I have a testosterone booster for similar reasons. It's from Bulkhead. They're a legit company. Realistically, that does nothing at all. But it has a placebo effect. So it causes changes in the way that I do things that I'm not consciously aware of, I'm not consciously doing, that lead to an improvement. I have a green tea supplement. These little green tea tablets. I drink green tea every morning anyway because it's good for you. It's good for your energy levels. But I have this little green tea supplement that I would take before I go to the gym. Helps me stay more alert, helps me stay more awake. Not just in the workout, but after. I get really drowsy after a workout. Because of how bad my sleep is, I can't take a nap during the day. I just can't do that. I would just lie there for hours. So taking that supplement negates that effectively. Whether it's conscious or not, I don't know. Some of the science I've seen, it says actually, oh yeah, it kind of does stuff. But other science says no, it doesn't. I don't know what to believe, and I don't particularly care, because the effect it has on me is it helps. So I'm going to keep taking it. And finally, I do have fish oil, just because I have really terrible joints. That is actually proven that has an actual effect. And that I will stand by, as long as the science stands by it. And so far it does. There's a bit of a rant there. I just to conclude, there's all this stuff going around on the internet about supplements. You should always pay attention to what is in them. You should always buy from reputable companies. You should always be able to prove, or there should always be a way that you can prove or state categorically that what you are buying is the real thing. And you need to know what effect that will have on you. Not what the ingredients do, what the tablet does as a whole. That is very, very important to consider. And I feel like there's an awful lot of effectively rubbish on the market right now that people are promoting because of the placebo effect, which they shouldn't do. However, people are buying and receiving a placebo effect, which is good. It's very kind of difficult to work around, and it's not something that's going to change anytime soon. That's just the way the industry works. It's all driven by social media, and social media will not change things, because it would just take such an enormous drive that not enough people would actually get involved. But that is a completely different rant. I've been chatting for long enough, and I have ice cream that I want to eat. All right, see you guys later.